Here's a recipe that I think will make a quick and savory meal for your family. Balsamic chicken. I'm Ralph. Welcome to my kitchen. Let's get started. I've got 3 chicken breasts. Now this recipe will actually serve up to 4 chicken breasts, but there were only 3 in the package, so that's what we're going to use. First, I'm going to be adding in some chicken broth into this bowl, some balsamic vinegar. Now I'm going to have the exact proportions to this recipe down below in the directions. I'm also going to be adding some minced garlic. I have some salt, Italian seasoning. Going to be adding 1 tablespoon of olive oil, and 2 tablespoons of honey. Now, if you have an aversion to sugar or honey, you might leave that part out. And notice that I measured out the olive oil first because it's making the honey come out of the spoon a little bit easier. There we go. Now, we just have to whisk this up. We're going to be pouring about 3/4 of this onto the chicken. Then we're going to be refrigerating that chicken for about 30 minutes. Now there's 3 different methods that would be ideal for cooking this. You could cook it on the stovetop in a frying pan. You could grill it outside or inside if you have an inside grill. But the third method that I'm going to be using is going to be a hot air fryer, because who doesn't like to do things quickly or have extra recipes for their hot air fryer? Okay, I've got that all mixed up. I'm going to pour most of it on here, and I'm going to hold back just a little bit for basting. Now, since I'm using a hot air fryer, I'm probably not going to be doing as much basting as, say, somebody doing it out on a grill. So you might want to hold back just a little bit more. Going to want to make sure that that is getting underneath the chicken as well. Get it all soaked in it. Flip those chicken breasts over into it. Nice and soaked. Then we're going to be putting this into the refrigerator for about 30 minutes, and I will see you then. I've just pulled the chicken out of the refrigerator, about to put it into the hot air fryer. Now, I've got a larger hot air fryer, but I figured that the average person does not. This is a 5-quart, I've got an 8-quart, and an 8-quart would handle 3 breasts easily. This I'm going to have to do basically 2 at a time. First thing you need to do, I'm going to use avocado oil. I would avoid using something like Pam because that tends to ruin nonstick surfaces. And this is just avocado oil under condensed air. So there's probably other brands out there, but this is the chosen brand. I've used it a lot. I like it. I'm going to be putting 2 of the chicken breasts in here. Now, I want to make sure that they're done. We're putting it in 380 degrees for like 10 to 12 minutes. I have it set for 12 minutes, but I want to be a little bit more accurate than that. So I'm going to be sticking my meter probe thermometer into one of these, making sure that it's not sticking out the other side. Putting that in there. This is how it's looking inside right now. So there's plenty of room all around it to be cooking. I'm going to place that in there. And at the halfway point, I'm going to pull them out, and that's when I'm going to start basting with some of the liquid here. So we will see y'all in about 6 minutes or so. Okay, it's showing about 5 minutes left. So I'm going to pull them out, flip them over. Now, according to the meter probe thermometer, they should have about 9 minutes left. But according to the time that I set on the hot air fryer, probably about 5 minutes left. So there's a discrepancy in here. I'll just have to keep an eye on it, and I may wind up having to add a little bit more time to the cook. Some of that might have been because I didn't preheat the hot air fryer, but the instructions didn't call for that, so I didn't do it. But be aware that if you preheat yours, you might not have this same problem that I'm having. Okay, I just had to add about 5 minutes according to the meter probe thermometer. So I'm really glad I had that thermometer instead of just relying on the instructions. I'm going to take this opportunity to put a little bit more of the baste on there. I think that's good. Back in it goes. And it looks like I'll be back to you in about 5 to 7 minutes. My meter probe thermometer is telling me it's ready to come out. I'll take this one and set it to the side for a moment. Now, it wants us to rest the chicken, so it's during the resting phase right now. While we're waiting on that to rest, if you're liking this video, please consider hitting the like button down below. Maybe give us a subscription, and please leave us some comments. I love reading the comments and responding to them, and I get some of my best ideas from the people who leave me comments. Okay. Our meter probe thermometer is telling us that it's ready. By the way, if you're interested in getting your own meter probe thermometer or a Joyomi hot air fryer, I've got links down below. But let's see how these turned out. Oh, by the way, don't just grab these probe thermometers, any probe thermometer. You're going to want to make sure that you've got a hot mitt on or something before you pull that out, because it is going to be hot. So let's see how they turned out. Going to cut it right across the middle. That is looking really nice. I see a lot of juice inside. I think this is going to turn out really, really nice. Let me take a couple of slices off for Gunner and I. It's going to be hot. That is super juicy. Gunner, come get yours. Come here. Come here. It's Gunner approved. This is so juicy. I can't believe it. I mean, the one thing everybody knows is when you cook boneless, skinless chicken breast, you bake it in the oven, you fry it up in a pan, chances are it's going to come out dry and stringy. This is just the opposite of that. This is totally succulent. Now, I did have to add extra minutes on here. I would not believe that 10 to 12 minutes. I would lean more toward the 18 to 20. So with that said, I think I'm going to have something for dinner. And I hope that y'all do subscribe and leave me a comment. And I will see y'all next week. Bye-bye.